Turkey has a point of order. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, Mrs. Executive Director, Excellencies, distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, first of all, I congratulate you for your election to lead the 10th session of UNTOC and the new members of the Bureau for their election. Mr. President, I have to make a brief statement on the participation of some NGOs which state parties object. We are all aware of the importance of international cooperation in the fight against transnational crimes, and we must take necessary measures for effective implementation of UNTOC and its protocols. Turkey is in close cooperation with civil society organizations in its fight against these crimes and also to help and protect the victims. On the other hand, in such a platform where we promote the rule of law and our struggle against organized crime and terrorism, it is unacceptable for us to invite non-governmental organizations which support criminal and terrorist organizations. We expect the conference to keep in mind that UNTOC mechanism is an instrument between the states. It is not acceptable to consider participation of some organizations which do not contribute to the promotion of UN principles. Such an approach will hamper our real goal of combating organized crime. We have communicated our objection to the participation of some NGOs to the Secretariat. Mr. President, we are aware of the rules of procedure on this matter which permit the participation of relevant NGOs in our fight against organized crime and terrorism. Any civil society organization supporting criminal groups or terrorist organizations cannot be regarded as relevant NGOs in this regard. Therefore, here we are addressing a matter of substance, not procedure. In addition, according to Rule 56, decisions of the conference should be taken by consensus, and it is clear that there is no consensus on the participation of some NGOs objected by a state party. Additionally, Mr. President, I want to emphasize once again that Turkey will not accept any reference to the participation of these organizations in the conference report. To be very frank, Mr. President, we hope all state parties will understand our concerns, and we will not arrive at a point where such matters cripple the international cooperation and harmony between the states. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your statement. In view of our very busy agenda, I would like to propose that the conference request the extended bureau of the conference to follow up on this matter and to develop recommendations on the way forward for consideration and decision by the conference as soon as possible. Are there any comments? Ambassador of Japan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, for giving me the floor. I'll be very, very brief to express our delegation's view with regard to the participation of non-governmental organizations. Japan places importance in furthering the effective implementation of UNTOC. While it is the primary role of states parties to effectively implement the provision of UNTOC, we are of the view that the contributions made by non-governmental organizations, especially those in consultative status with ECOSOC, would serve as useful input for all state parties. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the Ambassador of Japan for his statement, and let me underscore that in regard to the list of non-governmental organizations without ECOSOC consultative status, one objection has been received. One state party objected against the Libyan Transparency Association located in Libya on the ground that their legal status was not settled in accordance with Rule 17, Paragraph 2 of the Rules of Procedures, which outline the process for such objection. No invitation was extended to the non-governmental organization, and the matter is herewith referred to the conference for a decision. As I said, we will refer this matter to the Bureau for consideration. I can see that Canada is asking for the floor. Canada, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and I'll try to be brief. Canada values very much the participation of civil society organizations in this forum. And on a point of order, on your suggestion, Mr. President, to refer this to the Extended Bureau, what would be the timeline for such a referral and what happens in the meantime? It's Canada's position that it's Canada's understanding, rather, that NGOs in consultative status with ECOSOC are entitled to participate in all manner of the conference unless decided by the conference. And I want to be very clear, is this ability to participate valid from this moment on until such a decision is recommended by the Extended Bureau and adopted by the plenary on the one hand, or is that participation suspended as of this moment until a decision? It's our understanding that it's the former, but it's important for my delegation and all delegations to have clarity on this matter before we accept your valued suggestion. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the delegation of Canada. In regard to the participation of non-governmental organizations in the 10th session of the conference, I would like to inform the conference that the Extended Bureau had received from the Secretariat on 20th of May 2020 a list of non-governmental organizations with ECOSOC consultative status and a list of other relevant non-governmental organizations with ECOSOC consultative status, which would receive an invitation to participate as observers in accordance with Rule 17 of the Rules of Procedures. The Extended Bureau was requested to transmit to the Secretariat any comments regarding the list by Friday, 12th of June 2020. So I think this answers your question. I don't want to spend much time in the room in this issue because we already are pressed in time. But I will give the floor to Chile, followed by Germany, and then Norway, and I'll close the list of speakers after that. Thank you.
Gracias, señor.
Thank you, President. Very briefly, I would like to take the floor to support what was said by the previous two delegations. Without prejudice to the consideration the Extended Bureau may make, it is very important for my country to guarantee the participation of civil society because of the support they provide in combating transnational organized crime, especially organizations that have consultative status with ECOSOC. Thank you.
I thank the delegation of Chile, and I give the floor to Germany.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to support the three previous speakers. Germany also highly values the contribution of NGOs to our work as states, and we hope that all those who are eligible, especially those with status in ECOSOC, can contribute to this conference. Thank you very much.
I thank the Ambassador of Germany, and I give the floor to the Ambassador of Norway, and this is the last speaker in my list.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Norwegian delegation would also like to voice our support for the previous delegates that have stated the value of the participation of NGOs and civil society at this conference. We believe it's both relevant and important to include them, and we would like to see that they are granted participations in accordance with the rules of procedures. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think I have tried to be clear. Now the NGOs will be invited to take part in the conference. I don't see any objection in the room to that, and the matter will be referred to the Bureau. So I thank you for your Turkey, you have the floor.